Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Tiffany Lynn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about tips to read more. Okay, so I always get asked, how do I read more? A lot of people that I know feel like I read a lot. But I feel like I don't, especially compared to like booktubers. Like I really feel like I don't. So if you want to figure out, how to get those pages in, keep on watching. The first tip that I have is to read when you want to scroll. If you pick up your phone like 2 or 3 times throughout the day, that first time, pick it up, scroll, check out Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. And then those other 2 times throughout the day, when you want to pick up your phone, literally just reach for a book. It's hard, but it's very simple. Sometimes I over scroll on social media to where I'm seeing the same thing over and over again, and when it gets to that point, I'm just like, what am I doing? I should just really pick up a book. And that's what I do. My second tip is try matching books with TV shows. I am no stranger to this. I love reading a book of a movie that I've already seen a billion times. So I'm going to show you some examples of books that I have read where I saw the movie first. And not only did I see the movie first, I've seen the movie multiple times. But the thing is with books that are adapted into TV shows and movies is that a lot of times with movies they don't show certain, they don't tell you like certain details that you would get with the book. A lot of the times, or sometimes I should say, sometimes, something happens in a movie and you're like, well, why would they make that decision? Like, why would they do that? But if you ever read the book, then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Here's my first example. To all the boys I loved before. Loved this movie, seen it like 20 times, which made me pick up the book. And I read this whole series back to back. And the difference is in the movie, like, yeah, I love the movie, but with the book, I got more of the backstory and more of like the family aspect with the main character and her family and stuff. Like it was more of insight, Then there is Their Eyes Were Watching God, which is low-key different than the movie, but I actually like the movie better than I like the book. But I've also read this like 3 times, so I mean I really like both, but it really just gives you a different viewpoint of the same story. There is also, sorry, that's like washed out. There's also The Notebook, and with The Notebook, this one in particular, it showed more of like a snippet of what was in the movie, and I don't know who put together the movie, or maybe it was like the Arthur, or I don't know, but they did a real good job of like putting pieces together off of this short snippet of what the book is, honestly. There is Little Fires Everywhere. I recently read this. It got adapted into a TV series on Hulu. Did I watch the series? Tried to. Did I finish the series? I did not. Did I finish the book? I did. And the book was decent. Yeah, this was a good one to pick up and read. And then my last example of this, or recommendation I guess you could say, is The Picture of Dorian Gray. I don't know, you can't even see the freaking name of it. Yeah, but this is The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I don't think this has been made into like necessarily a movie or a TV adaptation, but there is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which has Dorian Gray in there as a character. So yeah, this would be an example of that, or like a spin, I guess. Help me help you, okay? So my third tip is to pick up something that matches a hobby. So my first example of this is within the past few years, I really gotten into spirituality and like crystals. So I picked up Crystals for Beginners. It may be like just reading about crystals, however, it's still reading. You know, it's not necessarily like a traditional book or like a self-help type of book. It's really just short snippet information about things, but like I said, it's still reading. My next example would be like my husband is really into historical things, like information altogether. So we went to the bookstore not too long ago and I saw this, which was African Myths. Like I said, he's really into historical things, and this was just something that I thought we should pick up for him. Granted, I'm probably gonna read this before he is, but you know, he's into historical things. Here's a historical book, so you know, put two and two together. There is Slay. I recently read this, and they talk about coding and video games. So I feel like if you're into coding and video games, this is a decent book to pick up because they get into depth a little bit about those things. Yeah, so I feel like this is a good example of that. Another book that I don't have that I feel like a lot of people would say would be a good one for that is Ready Player One. Like, I'll put it up right here. So like if you're into video games but you also want to read a little bit more, you know, pick up one of these books. There's always books out there that will pique your interest, but it's like an actual story, if you get what I'm saying. And then also there is The 5 People That You Meet in Heaven. There are books that are about religion where it's not necessarily you learning. It's not necessarily gonna be like throwing religion in your face, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's a book that deals with religion, but it's not like words. What are they? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, are we here? Please help me. It's late, okay? It is late. All right, so my fourth tip is to start small by going short. There are plenty of short books out there that you can start to read where it's not gonna take you that long to finish. And it's really just gonna help you get your foot in the door. Examples that I have of that is The Alchemist. I just read this year. I think of it as more of a self-help book, but it's really short, really quick to get through, and it's a good one. There is also Who Moved My Cheese. As you can see, like, this is really freaking short, and not only that, like, the words, there we go, the font is like really freaking big, and even like some pages it's just the whole picture. It's a really short book. It's a really good book, self-help book, you know. There is If You Come Softly by Jacqueline Woodson. This is more of like an actual story, but it's also still really short. The font is also kind of big too. Good book also. Now, if you're not sure that you want to get into any of that, too many words, you know, there is always graphic novels. Graphic novels are books, okay? That's first thing. Can you tell I'm sitting on the floor? Graphic novels are books. They go by so freaking quick. I think I like graphic novels. I don't know. I'll have to read more because I've only read 2 so far this year. But yeah, there's not many like words on the page because there's a lot of pictures, which I feel like that helps you visualize it more. Yeah, I think graphic novels is also a good place to start. Pumpkinheads, good recommendation to start off because it's a really cute story. Tip number 5 would be to set goals. For example, reading a chapter a day, reading like 50 pages a day, trying to finish a book by the end of the month, because I feel like when you set goals, it's gonna make you want to accomplish finishing the book faster. I just reached my goal of reading 20 books this year. just reached it, and I was determined, I was set on it, I was excited for it, and I reached it way before the end of the year. So I feel like that helped me a lot. Also, on a smaller scale, me trying to read like 2 books a month. Small goal, I accomplish it because I'm like, okay, I need to finish this book by the middle of the month so I can pick up another one so I can finish it again. Goals help me a lot, and I feel like it should help other people a lot also. And my 6th and final tip, this one is more so for very busy people. For instance, with me being a mom, my hands are always full. A way that helped me get through some of the books that I've read this year was audiobooks. I used to think that audiobooks was cheating. Please don't throw no stones at me, but I used to feel like that. But now I can see how convenient it is. Like, you're consuming the same information, you're just consuming it in a different way. Like with me, I like to read along with audiobooks. So like for instance, if I'm cleaning up the house, then I can listen to the audiobook. Once I'm done, I can sit down with the actual book and follow along with it. Or I can be listening to the audiobook and like my kid calls me for help to do something, still have my headphones in, go and help them, come back to the book and physically read it. Same thing with like driving. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. When I'm driving by myself, I'll listen to an audiobook, come in the house, sit down, get my book and pick up where I left off listening to it. So that way it helps me get through it. And I feel like a lot of times too, it doesn't change up how I feel about the book. That's about it. Those are my tips on how to read more if you want to get into reading, or if you just feel like you're not consuming as many books as you want to. Those are my tips, and I hope they help you. So yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and like it, you know. Don't forget to subscribe. Like 90-something% of the people who watch my videos do not subscribe to me. Like, help me help you. What would you like to see? Which leads me to comment. What would you like to see? If you have any tips that you think will help people read more, leave them down below. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. You know, I respond back. And don't forget to share, because I'm sure there's somebody out there who really needs like these tips. Like, they really want to read, but they just feel like it's impossible, or they really want to read but they feel like they don't have any time, or they really want to read but like they don't know where to start. You know, this is what I'm here for. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.